Talking with the experts.
Welcome to Talking with the Experts, where we believe that success is a journey, and every journey is easier with help from friends. That's why we bring you top-notch experts and real business heroes eager to share their lessons from the road to success. We delve into new topics each week: effective marketing strategies, innovative problem-solving, financial planning, and team building. We tackle everything you need to know to grow your business and keep it thriving. Whether you dream about launching your first startup or a business veteran looking to shake things up, we've got you covered. With each episode, you'll gain knowledge, boost your confidence, and be inspired to take action. So, grab a coffee, make yourself comfortable, and join our exciting journey. You're not alone in this. We're here, guiding you, cheering for you, and celebrating each milestone. Let's turn your business dreams into reality, starting today. Here is your host, Rose Davidson.
Talking with the experts.
In episode 503, Patric Chan shares with us how we can launch NFTs for creators, influencers, and digital marketers.
But the biggest discovery I found is that when you buy the NFT, you have sense of ownership towards it. It's a very different feeling compared to just seeing it or using it as a wallpaper or whatever it is. When you own it, you own it. Then I continue to buy and buy and buy. Now, just for the record, I'm not like a tier one big time buyers of NFTs. I don't spend millions. I don't spend hundreds of thousands. I just spend about 5 figures to buy these NFTs. And the reason why I bought all these NFTs is to understand how this works. Side note, sidetrack. If you want to get into business, to create something, the first step is to experience it as a customer. Then you can understand the psychology of the customers. Then you understand the sales flow and everything else. And
Talking with the experts.
Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. I'm your host, Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com. Talking with the Experts is all about business by business owners for business owners. You can find it on all good podcasting streaming platforms and on YouTube. And today it's my very great pleasure to introduce you to Patric Chan, who's going to be talking about NFTs for creators, influencers, and digital marketers. Now, most people think that NFT is a financial instrument for speculating. Some even think it's a scam or a fad. But once a creator, an influencer, and a digital marketer or an entrepreneur can understand that NFT is a technology and can be used as content, there's a vast opportunity to turn it into a digital business. It can manage access and build a community for your brand. And Patric's going to share with us a little bit more so we can understand how this happens. Welcome, Patric, and thank you so much for joining me today.
hey, Rose, thank you for having me here. It's going to be my great pleasure to share with you how can we use NFT as a platform for business, for internet marketing, for digital marketing, and so forth.
Yeah, I have a great interest in learning about how we can use NFTs in that way rather than as in trading and in the digital banking world, how else we can utilize NFTs, to better our businesses. Because as I explained, I'm helping out a charity at the moment, and they have access to digital currency. But for me to understand how this works, I will take your expertise on board and learn. So please tell me, how can we use it to better our business and turn it into a digital business?
Fantastic. So what I understand is that you can, or you would wish to use NFTs as a medium to also raise charity. And we're going to get into that, which is going to be something very exciting, because I can give you a case study of this that is already happening right now. But before we get into that, I just want to make sure that we have provided the correct framework. As in, like, do you wish me to do a rapid introduction? What is an NFT before we jump into the usability of it?
Yeah, that would be really helpful, Patrick, I think, for our listeners and viewers who aren't familiar with what they are and how they work.
Yes. So basically, NFT stands for non-fungible token. So in order for us to understand non-fungible token, we want to understand what's fungible in the first place. So let's say I give you $100, a $100 bill, and then you give me your $100 bill, which is yours, and I took this same $100 bill and I spend it outside, go to the shop and buy something. Now, that same $100 bill will allow me to buy anything that's worth $100, despite it is not the same note anymore. That is fungible. Or let's say I give you a Bitcoin and then you send me a Bitcoin. Now, that Bitcoin, if I were to sell it outside, it will be worth whatever the price is. That is fungible. So for us to understand non-fungible, we can explore the offline world. A classic example would be the Mona Lisa painting. I choose that simply because most people could relate to the Mona Lisa. And as far as I'm concerned, that there's only one Mona Lisa, the painting, that is now located in France, in the museum. There's only one. However, Rose and me could have our own Mona Lisas, which are all the replicates. In fact, there could be thousands of replicates for the Mona Lisa painting, and it could look exactly the same. Now, we could have the Mona Lisas, but we do not own the Mona Lisa. There's only one owner, which I would say technically would be France or the museum. There's only one owner. Now, that is non-fungible in the offline world. Now, let's think, how do we do the same for a digital product or a digital piece, a digital content, like an image, a video, an audio, anything that's digital? Because anything that's digital can be transferred, can be duplicated, can be multiplied, and so on. I mean, lack of a better word, you can save as and you download that thing, that digital piece, and then you can send it everywhere. I mean, the same piece could be replicated 1,000 times and so on. So how do you make something digital to become unique and exclusive? This is where we enter the world of blockchain. So with blockchain, we are able to make a digital piece unique by leveraging on the blockchain's technology called smart contract. So if the digital product or the digital piece, it's an NFT, it means there's a smart contract associated to it. So let's say, example, I send a JPEG image to Rose as an NFT instead of a JPEG. Now, what happened is that in the blockchain, there will be a ledger that authenticate that, hey, you know what? Patrick has sent that JPEG image to Rose. And the world can see that in the ledger, in the blockchain. Therefore, now, technically, it has been announced that this piece of digital piece, I know it sounds funny to say this piece of digital piece, it's now with Rose. Now, that is non-fungible. I hope that crash course sort of summarized what's NFT for the time being.
Yep, it does. Thank you so much for sharing that. So how can businesses utilize NFTs to make money or otherwise?
Yes, very good question, Rose. So it goes back to 2021 when I first heard about NFT. You see, I come from the digital marketer world, online business world, content creator. I have co-authored a book with Robert G. Allen, who is the New York Times best-selling author of Multiple Streams of Income, Cash in a Flash, and so on. I have written 3 best-selling books, spoken in 12 countries as an authority of internet marketing. Now, all of those, right, could not compare to the discovery that I found in 2021. And that's why I get so excited right now. Here's what happened. In 2021, I heard Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, talk about NFTs. So he has this NFT called VFriend. But at that time, I don't really understand what in the world is he talking about. So he's saying that, hey, this JPEG image, this doodling image is going to cost 1 ETH. 1 ETH would be 1 Ethereum. And that translates to maybe $1,500 USD, or it could be $3,000. I could not remember what's the price for an Ethereum back in 2021. But the point is this, I didn't buy because I was thinking, now how much can this JPEG image worth? Let's say it increased by 50%. I'm not going to risk, say, $1,500 to earn $700. That it would be kind of crazy because I could lose the $1,500 if I buy this thing called NFT. So I didn't buy. And little did I know, a few months later, a VFriend NFT was selling for about 8 Ethereum, 8 ETH, which means the person who had bought it would have earned 8x in return. That was insane. And that was like the minimum price. That was like the floor price. Some have even been sold as high as 20 ETH, 30 ETH, and so on. So that gets me curious of how this NFT world works. So I started my own exploration and I went in to start buying my own NFTs. Now, this is where it's a little bit funny, I would think, because when I see the NFT, I realized that I could get it for free even if I don't pay for it because it's just a JPEG image. So the NFT that I bought was a Captain America NFT. I also bought Spider-Man NFTs and so on. So after I bought the first NFT, I showed to my wife and I said that, hey, I just bought this. And then my wife was saying, so what did you buy? I says, this Captain America video, this Spider-Man 3D rotation image. And she looked at me and says, great, whatever you want to do, you can do and buy more. But I totally don't get it why you're paying for it when you can just see that image for free, right? So she has a point there, but something magical happened when I bought that NFT. It completely changed my paradigm. And when I bought it, I start to understand the psychology of the buyers. Why would someone buy an NFT when they can get it for free? So I started to buy more and more and more. And I had to stop because I realized this is going crazy because I'm spending more and more and more buying things that doesn't have any functions. But the biggest discovery I found is that when you buy the NFT, you have sense of ownership towards it. It's a very different feeling compared to just seeing it or using it as a wallpaper or whatever it is. When you own it, you own it. Then I continue to buy and buy and buy. Now, just for the record, I'm not like a tier one big time buyers of NFTs. I don't spend millions. I don't spend hundreds of thousands. I just spend about 5 figures to buy these NFTs. And the reason why I bought all these NFTs is to understand how this works. Side note, sidetrack. If you want to get into business, to create something, the first step is to experience it as a customer. Then you can understand the psychology of the customers. Then you understand the sales flow and everything else. And after buying many of these NFTs, I discovered there are 3 core reasons why someone will buy NFT. Anything you want me to clarify before I continue?
No,
Rose?
I think I've got it so far.
Yeah, I get very excited, so just want to make sure that I'm not off tangent too much. So I'm at this point where I realize, hey, if I want to sell NFTs, I have to know why people buy in the first place. So the main reason, or should I say one of the core reasons, it is the speculative market. Buy low, sell high. So people will treat NFT as a financial instrument, just like crypto, stocks, and so on. You buy, then you sell, you make money. And gosh, many people make so much money during that period of time when there is this FOMO going on, when the hype goes in, and so on. But if you were playing this right now, you would have lose a lot of money because the whole NFT market tanked at the time, at the date of we doing this chat. Many of the collections has goes down by 90%, 80% of your investment. In another word, let's say you spend $100,000 buying the NFTs, you would just have $10,000 right now. So it's a very risky game, but of course high return. So an example would be like Donald Trump NFTs. And I'm just bringing this up because it is something that's relatively new. It's a few months ago. So when Donald Trump launched its NFT, a lot of people buy. And after a while, the price goes up and then goes down very, very, very fast. And the reason is probably because people were buying for the speculative purpose, for the speculative market. I mean, it's Donald Trump. The world knows that brand. I mean, this is the ex-president of the United States. Who doesn't know Donald Trump? He's a speaker, he's an author, he's everywhere in Twitter, and so on. So everybody knows Donald Trump. So the mindset is that, hey, if I buy Donald Trump NFT, and once it is in the market, I can sell it again and it makes money. And I guess that's what happened. This is why it goes up and then goes down really fast. First reason. Second reason, people buy NFTs for the bragging rights. Now, how does this bragging rights work? At one time, one of the famous types of NFTs is called the PFP NFT. You will see this avatar image. Example, the famous one will be Bored Ape, all the ape pictures. Now, those are NFTs. There were 10,000 of them. So you may see celebrities like Eminem, Jimmy Fallon, Justin Bieber, Dave Chappelle, and a few more bought these NFTs and then they show in their social media profile. Now, that may cost about $100,000 or a few $100,000. Now, let's think about it, right? If you see someone spend $100,000 on a JPEG image, this person is probably loony, right? Or this person must be really significant. True? I mean, nobody's going to share $100,000 for a JPEG image, or in some cases, $500,000. Bragging rights show, hey, you know, I am significant. And that is the price that you pay for because you can actually flex without flexing. I mean, if you have a nice watch, a nice car, a nice house, I mean, how many times can you show it, right? How many times can you post the same car over and over again in social media? And there are certain things that you cannot flex. But with NFT, you can flex it 24/7 because it's part of your social media avatar. Now, like for instance, I have Adidas NFT. It doesn't make money for me, but I bought it because I just feel, hey, I'm significant because I love the brand. I'm a fan of Adidas and I own an Adidas NFT. Now, subconsciously, isn't that what I'm doing here in our chat? That I'm flexing. I have an Adidas NFT where I'm willing to spend that money just to say that, hey, I have an Adidas NFT. So it's crazy. It's really crazy if you think about it. But it's a new way of bragging rights. And as I examine further, these two opportunities are usually dominated by billion-dollar brands or big companies, Nike, Starbucks, all these big brands. And for the speculative market and the bragging rights opportunity, although Rose, you and me could be famous, but we're just famous in our small little circle, right? We're not Justin Bieber. We're not Taylor Swift. We're not Blackpink and all those kind of big brands where they are known globally in the mainstream. Even people everywhere knows all these brands. Who doesn't know Starbucks? You see where I'm coming from? Mercedes and so on. So if we want to create an NFT and we want someone to buy with the mentality that they can speculate it, buy low, sell high, that's not going to happen. It's very unlikely because they will not be able to speculate something that is not well recognized. And not many people would want to brag saying that, hey, I own Patric Chan's NFT. Not that we are not good, it's just that their friends wouldn't know who is Patric Chan. It's just known in the circle. So we cannot tap on these two. However, there's the third opportunity why someone buy NFT, and this is where you and me can play at. And it's none other for utility that the NFT carries. Now, I'm going to dive in deeper into here because this is where businesses, influencers, creators can tap on it and create their own community, at the same time generate income and serve the audience, the customers. So what is the NFT utility is about? So it's this. What if they buy your NFT, they'll get something in return, which is in the form of utility. So this could be a pass to attend a certain event, whether it's a virtual event, whether it's offline event. It could be a pass to access a podcast. It could be a pass to access video training. It could be a pass to watch videos on the streaming service that you have online. It could be a book that represents the NFT, or should I say the NFT represents the book. So when it comes to utility, right, we can do this because they are not buying the NFT for the purpose of speculating it or having the bragging rights, but they're buying the NFT so that they can access what the NFT is going to provide to them. So in this definition, it's just like they are buying, say, a seminar ticket, they are buying a course, but instead of giving them the course, as in just the digital content, give it to them as an NFT. So now they would also have the ownership towards the digital content. I'm just going to pause for a while because I think that there could be some questions coming up. So if there's none, then I will continue from here.
Question is, how do you purchase? Like, what do you use to purchase? Do you use cash? Do you use, Bitcoin? That's where my understanding is of how you purchase this NFT.
Okay, very good question, and I'll be happy to address this. So there are two. There are the buyers and then there are the sellers. So assuming that we are the creators, which means that we are selling the NFTs. So how do the buyer buy the NFT from us? Now, usually it is through crypto, but then crypto has different kinds of cryptos. It depends on when you create your NFT, you are minting it on which chain. I'm speaking a bit slower because I want to make sure that this is quite clear and I want to avoid all the geeky, nerdy talks and just focus on the business aspect so that everyone can have an overall understanding. So what do I mean by chain? So let's say I am going to turn my JPEG image into an NFT. I would need to mint it, M-I-N-T. To mint an NFT, there are many platforms out there. The famous one, the number one leading platform would be OpenSea.io. So if you go to OpenSea.io, it will ask you, all right, what digital piece would you like to turn into an NFT? So, it's just like drop and drag, upload, this kind of basic stuff. And when you do that, it will ask you what chain you want your NFT to sit on. Now, just so you know, I'm just using a very layman ways of expressing it. So if someone who is technically sound and you're saying that, hey, Patrick, you're saying it incorrectly. Just so you know, I'm not here to talk about technical stuff, right? So stay with me for that matter. So the chain basically means where your NFT is going to be sit on, okay? So the famous one would be Ethereum blockchain, but that is expensive. So some may use Polygon. Polygon will consider L2, layer 2 of Ethereum chain. Ethereum is layer 1. So let's say if you mint on Polygon chain, it means when you sell, you will be accepting Matic crypto coin, which is the Polygon coin. But at the same time, you can also sell in Ethereum. So it depends on what you want to collect. So if you sell in OpenSea, you can say, I want to get paid in Ethereum and also in Matic. You can do that. At the same time, a platform like OpenSea would also have its integration with credit cards. I believe they use MoonPay. MoonPay is a crypto slash credit card service provider. So a buyer without any crypto can also purchase your NFT with credit card, but it goes through a different kind of payment gateway called MoonPay. But it's not always shown. I'm not too sure why sometimes it's available, sometimes it's not available. So what I'm trying to express here is that there's also the opportunity to use credit card to buy NFTs depending on which platforms you are putting in. Like if you're in the US, Shopify would also have the capability to sell NFTs with the add-ons apps. You know, they have the plugins and so on. So you can have those add-ons app into your store. And one of it, I could not remember the name because we don't have Shopify enabled NFTs in here. It's only available in the US and it's only rolled out to some beta testers. So if you have that, you could be selling your NFTs in fiat currency with credit card. So they can buy your NFTs from your Shopify store in US dollar. And then they will be able to get the NFTs and then the NFTs will go into their digital wallet.
Yeah, that was really well explained, Patrick. Thank you so much for that. I actually understood everything now that so what the charity is doing is, you know, selling their tokens, but tokens are a part of the blockchain that that we're using. So yeah, I understand it a lot better now. Thank you. It was very clear.
Thank you.
Now, right. Patrick, you have written some books as well. So would you like to explain about the books that you have written and where that people can find them?
Right. The reason why I paused for a while because I want to share another insight. I have this book called Wake Up Millionaire, and we sold it as a Kindle ebook and also a physical book. But I think end of 2021 or 2022, I can't remember, time passed so fast. I took down all the books from Amazon and I turned it into an NFT book because I was on this trend right now. And it says, you know what? This is going to be the Web3 way of selling books. And I wanted to share this because I want to bounce this idea with everyone listening, because I hope that this idea can also help you to have your next book selling breakthrough if you're an author, creator, and so on. So the concept is this. With a physical book, when you buy it, you own it. I mean, when I say you own it, you can do anything you want with it. You can burn it, you can give it away, you can sell it, or you can just keep it in your shelf. It's yours. With a digital book, when someone buys a digital book, the only reason why they do that is what? It is to access the content of the book. Now, what if the book, it is now an NFT? So instead of just having the content, they can now own the book. Yes, it sounds crazy, but now you can be the owner of the digital book. And that creates a huge demand and also a different kind of marketing strategy that you can deploy. So let's say if you sell a book, you can say, I'm only selling 1,000 ebooks, 1,000 digital books. And this time, it is not a gimmick, it is not some fake scarcity because it's in the blockchain. So you cannot say, hey, I've already sold 1,000 copies, but I didn't sell. You cannot, because people can go to the blockchain and see the ledger, how many has been sold. And now you can create real marketing campaign by saying, we're just going to sell 1,000. But here's the other interesting part. If they buy it, if they have the NFT, they can show proof that they have the book. Now, why is this important? Here's what. Like, there are times we read certain books and we are very proud of it. And then we like to tell people, hey, we read that book, right? So like, for instance, I like the book 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, or 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by the late Stephen Covey. But how do I show to you that I have bought the book and I read it because I just want to brag about it? I could not do that. There's no proof. But now imagine this, Rose. What if your book readers who are proud of your book and you could now display in social media and everywhere else that they have bought your book. So now they have full sense of ownership towards that. And ownership also means if they don't like it, they can sell it to someone else because it is now NFT. So just think it this way. Someone buys the book and you say, what, I'm done reading it and I want to give it to someone else. Now they can do that because it's an NFT. So from here onwards, chances are I will be doing more NFT books. I would also be having a new book coming up soon, which may not be NFT based. It's going to call Zero Employees, but that is something coming up soon. The other book that I'll be doing is called Money, the Present and Future. That will be an NFT driven book.
Wow, that's amazing. So to get it, you have to belong to a blockchain.
Sorry?
So to be able to access your book, you must be on the blockchain to get the NFT. Is that right?
The proof will be on the blockchain.
Yes.
But in order for you to get the book, it can be delivered by the usual Web2 medium. But to purchase the NFT, it has to go through the smart contract, as in like buying from OpenSea or through Shopify, where the seller has a smart contract generated when you purchase it.
Excellent. Okay. I think I've got it now.
Yeah, awesome.
So
awesome.
you have trained quite a few people worldwide, thousands, and you've got testimonials from Robert G. Allen and Russell Brunson and Dr. Joe Vitale and Anik Singhal and Ryan Deese and Mark Joyner. My goodness, you are, you've been around the traps a little bit.
I've been around, yeah.
Well done for getting testimonials from those people, and you've been awarded the ClickBank Platinum Award, and you're a super affiliate. Wow.
Yeah. So I didn't display my office is at home. So it's not that I'm trying to blow my horn or something like that, but just to relay how long I've been doing this ClickBank stuff, I started receiving my ClickBank Platinum when they issue it digitally, and then when they issue it as paper certificate, and then the latest one is when they send out plated award. So I've been receiving since the day when they're just sending it as digital certificate. You know, those Canva type design certificate, just send it to you and say, hey, you are ClickBank Platinum. Yeah, since those days.
Wow, well done. Congratulations. Now, Patric, where can they find you if they want to work with you or find out and get involved with NFTs?
Right. So the best way is to check out my free newsletter called NFTs for Creators newsletter. It's at nftsforcreators.xyz. Now, this newsletter is a bit different because it's dedicated for us for content creators, influencers, digital marketers, online entrepreneurs who are beginners with NFTs. So the newsletter doesn't cover the geeky stuff, the nerd stuff and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with those, but that's not my expertise. So the newsletter focuses on how we creators can use NFTs. So that's one place. If you would like to connect with me, I'm still on Facebook, and it's at facebook.com/Patric Chan.
I'm going to go and chase you up now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and sign up for this newsletter because I really want to really get my head around it. And I think that my business, it's, the podcast and the business that I have aside from the podcast could benefit from being on an NFT. So yes.
Yes, love it.
Good. All right, Patric, if you were to give some words of wisdom to anybody, it doesn't matter who, what would that be?
All right, so I'm going to stay on the same path related to NFTs, or to be more precise, in Web3. Now, I want you to think about this, to examine this thought. That's the reason why I mean, as of right now, this date here, I've turned off all of my websites and closed all my digital products for sale and stop ClickBank and so on to focus on this. Because there have been footprints showing that this is not a fact. I mean, billion-dollar companies like Nike, Puma, Adidas, and the latest one is Mercedes-Benz. And then there are Starbucks, Ticketmasters. I mean, billion-dollar brands, public listed companies are releasing their NFTs. How could this be a fact? Because they are board of directors and so on. Billion-dollar brands are embracing this right now, including Marvel, DC, and the list goes on, Star Wars, and so on. And what is happening is they are now educating millions, hundreds of millions of people what are NFTs. Like, for instance, Marvel will tweet in their Twitter saying that, hey, we have launched our comic NFT. Adidas will tweet saying that they have their into the metaverse NFT project and so on. So what is happening? It means that us as marketers, we don't need to do the educational part right now. And that has lifted away so much burden. We don't even need to explain that much. So all of these people, hundreds of millions of people right now, started to learn about NFTs. And that is the best time. This is the best time for you to participate in offering your NFTs to them. So I urge you, this is not a fad. And the faster you get on board, the more advantage that you will have. I mean, yes, you can do this next year and you could still sell some NFTs and so on. But just so you know, there's going to be a lot of competition, right? Because many people will be doing it and the hype will not be there anymore. And when I say the word hype, I'm not referring to scarcity or this kind of stuff. I'm saying of something that is new, that the same person who just bought a Starbucks NFT may prompt to buy another NFT right now. Just like when I buy a Spider-Man NFT, I want to buy another NFTs. But after this person buy many NFTs and you want to sell to him, you can, but you just have to work harder. In the past, I've done almost any trend that you can think of. I've done Amazon Kindle and everything else, but the one that I want to bring up is none other than mobile apps. There was a time mobile apps was going crazy. When we started, it was less than 1 million apps in the market. And one of my students made so much money from the mobile apps games. And we made some as well. And guess what? We don't even need to produce any complicating app. We do Compass app, costs us like just a few $100s, and we have thousands and thousands of downloads. We do silly games, those silly jumping games, and people download and play all these kind of games. Now, today, if you're going to do a Compass app or a jumping game app, nobody's going to download it, right? I mean, the demand, the expectation for your game in mobile app right now is crazy. It's so crazy. You have to have open world and all this kind of stuff. It's impossible for you to do something that is so basic. Same thing. The expectation for your NFTs in the future is going to be different. And when I say different, you got to put much more work to make it successful then.
Yes, I think the market will soon be saturated, and if you're not careful, you'll miss out.
There you go, Rose.
All right, Patric, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure learning and listening to you explain in simple language what an NFT is and how we can buy and sell and get into the market.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me here.
Bye-bye
Rose.
for
Thank you
now.
very much. Bye. Take care.
You've been listening to Talking with the Experts, hosted by Rose Davidson. Make sure you have a look at our back catalogue over at talkingwiththeexperts.com, and be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any episode. We look forward to your company next time. Talking with the Experts.